Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
Good evening, lovely people. Welcome back to another live match preview. As you guys know, we have another game. Yippee if you're a Liverpool fan. I don't know about you guys, but I could do with a little break. I don't mind going back to the World Cup. Those were happier times. But we have got Crystal Palace on Saturday, and I'm delighted to be joined by the best of the best when it comes to Crystal Palace content. We have Rich, we have JC, we have Nate, and we have D representing Eagle Eye Football and the Back of the Nest, respectfully. Boys, how are you guys doing?
Good, man. Say more to be fair with us. How you doing? Forget about us. How are you doing, bro? Forget about us. That's the question I've been waiting for. Because kind of it's been a minute since I spoke to you.
You know how I'm doing, brother. Bro, let me go back to the World Cup. Or let me go back to when we first started speaking, all of us. Like, happier time for Liverpool winning games. I miss those days, boys. I miss those days. But we've got a massive game at the weekend. Liverpool, Rich, you said it before we came on here. Liverpool are starting to hit a bit. No, sorry, it was Nate. Liverpool are starting to hit a little bit of form in the league. I thought that would have helped us last night. It didn't. Hence why I don't think we are in great form. We've just managed to win 2 games on the bounce. You guys have had your struggles this season. But Rich, I want to start with you first. Crystal Palace, in my opinion, haven't hit the heights that many outsiders expect them to hit. Vieira came in last season, did a great job, in my opinion. You haven't kind of kicked on. What would you say is the reason for that?
For me, it's a twofold answer to this. Number one, no, I don't think I brought back to him enough in the summer. We got gaping holes and we didn't address them, especially in the middle of the park. Saying that, Vieira's not helped himself with his team selection from time to time. We've been crying out for like Edouard to start more games. We've got like Mateta starting up top, and he's just been dreadful since he cut his hair. Will Hughes in the middle of the park, we've been crying out for him to start more games. Jeffrey Schlupp finds his way into the team each and every time and such. So it's kind of like a bit of both, really. It's crazy to think we still got 26 points out of this because it's been a mad season. And we had a tough start, and we've had the tough period like now. There's games we should have got 0 points from, and we've managed to get points. And there's other games we should have secured a win, and we haven't. So it's kind of like swings and roundabouts of us, and it's the inconsistencies as a fan base. I think is the most frustrating aspect.
I hear that. JC, I'll come to you next. In your opinion, has Vieira over or underperformed this season, or is he sort of where you expect him to be?
I think it's a good question, because I think with the players that he's got to work with and the form that certain players are in, I think to an extent he's overachieving, because we've had pretty bad injuries. Like Anderson was a massive hit to us. We've got Chris Richards, who's built like a quaver, so he's injured every other game. But as Rich said, he's always picking.
Quaver caught me, man. Quaver's a brittle, man. Quaver really hit me. That is joke. Sorry.
But yeah, I think with certain players, like he's always picking Schlupp, who just doesn't press. We've got Eze. He's a brilliant player, but his off the ball work just isn't where it needs to be for him to really progress and become a world class player. Like we know he can be, but it just needs to work on it a bit more. But he's a young player who'll get there. So I think with the players he's got and the lack of investment he got in the summer, I think he's overachieving right now. But we're still not where we want to be.
Fair dues. Nate, in terms of the summer and what you did and how you are now, if I'm not mistaken, you didn't do any business in January, did you? Or did you?
We did a couple of deals on deadline day for Sambi Lokonga on loan from Arsenal.
Oh, yes, that's right. Sorry.
And we got Ahamada in from, was it Stuttgart boys?
Stuttgart.
Sure it was Stuttgart, wasn't it? Yeah, so we kind of knew going into January, because our chairman, by some mad crook, decided to say, "Oh, just expect us to sign loan players." Mate, not the thing to say to a fan base that knows we're in need of new players.
Yeah.
Like, I know we're not loaded with money, but that wasn't the same to make on a Palace TV broadcast. But Ahmada's come in. He's shown flashes of what we've bought, which looks encouraging. Sambi Lokonga has helped massively in that defensive midfield role because we've tried to put a Jeffrey Schlupp square in a Conor Gallagher circle. You can imagine how that effective that's been. But, unfortunately, we let go of a few players last season that we kind of thought, oh, it's fine, we'll replace them. Oh, wait, we didn't replace them. Whoops. The only positive is that we got Doucouré in the summer. But he's probably been the most standout of the signings we made in the summer because the others, I think, 2 of them are out on loan. Sorry, 1 of them's out on loan. It's like, oh boy, that's not a good sign because 1's injured, 1 is always injured, as JC alluded to. So, yeah, it's not been great. But to be fair, I mean, we've seen worse. Like we have seen worse as Palace fans, so we can't really be too negative. But that doesn't stop Palace Twitter from going into meltdown every time we don't win a game. It's like, oh boy, here it comes.
So, D, that's what I was going to come to you next. And look, guys, there's 4 of you. There's 1 of me. Take it easy on me. I'm just going to ask this question. Like, it's an honest question. I don't want no trouble, D. Yeah, you guys are sitting on 26 points at the moment. You're 12th in the league.
Yeah.
As a Crystal Palace fan, and I'm going to use myself as an example, someone who's grown up in and around the stadium and seen you guys go from the Premier League down to Championship, not get out of the Championship, back in the Premier League, now you're sustained. Sitting 12th in the league, in my opinion, no danger of going down. Are you guys being a little bit... Rich is giving me that look. Are you guys expecting more than you should be? And I'm saying that as a Liverpool fan, which is a little cheeky, but is 26 points, 12th in the league, is that bad? That's not bad, surely.
With what JC said is right. We have overachieved this season. It's the context of matters. Even when we talk about our last 10 games or 2023, we haven't won a game. But then again, there's context. We've missed Zaha for a lot of games. There's Anderson who's been out. We've had one of the toughest fixture lists. So when they talk about expectations, I don't think it's out of the question for us to try and aim for top 10. But if you're talking about this season, I don't know what is the realistic expectation. We, as everyone else has said, we brought in some quality players. We brought in Chris Richards from Bayern Munich, who's shown in glimpses when he has played. Very good player. Also, Doucouré, very good player. But we haven't brought in enough. We got rid of the likes of Conor Gallagher, which Callum was talking about literally every week. And you saw how important he was for Palace.
Yeah.
And then we had, James McCarthy was another midfield option who's had an injury problem. Kouyaté, who went out as well. So the problem with Palace is we've regressed as a squad this season, and that's why the expectations have pretty much changed. But in terms of, what our expectations are, I don't think aiming for top 10 is unrealistic for Palace. But maybe this season, yes. But in general, we want to be a top 10 club, and we can be a top 10 club. The only main requirement that we need is investment. I don't think our problems are that big. We just need investment. Some of the players that we've got right now, I'm telling you, if it was another manager, we could be down at 16th, 17th, starting Jeffrey Schlupp week in, week out, or Jordan Ayew and relying on Nathaniel Klein at right back in 2023. We've had some weaknesses, as good as they can be, at certain stages of the season. Our squad is not that good, and that's because of investment. So the question is, if we spend money, 100% we can be that club that we all want to be. But that's if we spend the money, and that's why this season's a write-off. Mediocre season, we go again in the summer.
So let me get this straight. Mediocre season, you're writing off the season, the squad's not good enough, you need investment. You lot might as well be Liverpool fans at this point. What you've just said is what I've been saying every week since August. So we might as well just be enjoying the vibe on Saturday, innit?
We're not that far off, to be fair. We're not that far off. I don't know how many points it is.
It's 9 points, so it's like we might as well just have a vibe on Saturday. But looking forward to the game now. Obviously, Liverpool and Crystal Palace have had their history. So, JC, I'm going to come to you first. What has been your favourite Crystal Palace win over Liverpool at Selhurst Park?
I'm not going to say a win.
I'm not going to say Istanbul because that was a draw.
I'm going to say, I have to say it. I'm pretty sure that's the only time actually.
You know the answer already.
But it wasn't a win. It wasn't a win.
We took it as one.
I'll be real.
We'll put it this way. I think I'm too young to even realise us winning at Sellers Park. So, if anything, that's a win for me because that was an incredible game. I have to say.
Rich,
But
yourself.
away, definitely Benteke double.
Yep, I know it was going to be that one. I know.
Yeah.
Him
Listen,
and Saka celebrating at Anfield. That was fun times.
Callum tried to finesse the question and say win at Sellers Park. Nah. Istanbul, yeah. Change that question to result.
He's still having nightmares of Dwight Gale, mate. That's what he's doing.
I am.
Oh, Steven Gerrard crying on the pitch, bro. There was some good times.
So I'll tell you what,
I
think at that time I was still...
that's Suarez actually, not Gerrard.
That would have been what, 20? That was 2014, right? I was still living at my mum's, and my mum's not too far from the ground. So whenever Palace scored, I could hear the roar in the house. And when I tell you, you see that I've never felt such an empty feeling in my stomach every time I could hear the roar, because it's like the roar happened a split second before it happened on TV. So it's like I hear the roar and I'm like, oh no, it's coming. And then I see it happen. And it's like, wow, this is bad. This is bad. But it happened. Nate, are you the same? Is it the same result for you?
No, it's not. Funnily enough, it's not
thanks.
actually. To be fair, only because I live in Dublin, so there's more Liverpool fans than probably any other fan base here. So
yeah,
I watched the 3-1 game under Neil Warnock. No relation. I have to stress that very quickly. No relation whatsoever. But we were getting bantered by Liverpool fans when Ricky Lambert scored in the first minute, and I was like, we let an OAP score in the first minute. Lads, you know there's a game on, right?
Yeah.
Then, what was it? Jedinak scores that absolute peach of a free kick, and this Liverpool fan next to me was like, that's a fluke, it's not a goal. Big man. No keeper saving that. Yeah. Even if it's prime Dida, nobody saves a free kick like that. But one honourable game that we had against Liverpool donkey years back was in the League Cup when Clinton Morrison told Steven Gerrard, I would have scored that, and then we got piped at Anfield in the second leg. It's like, Clinton, the less you say, the better. Because he got taught a lesson at Anfield. I'm like,
was that back in 2003, right? Was that 2003?
2001.
2000. I was in school them days. I remember when Clinton Morrison did that. Clinton Morrison, my brother. I remember when that happened.
I couldn't even walk them days, bro. Forget about school. I couldn't even walk.
Hey, stop making us not feel old, man.
Yeah, you're making me feel old now, bro. D, what's yours? Do you have a different one to the rest of the lads?
I was one.
Oh, no.
You are killing me.
I'm finished.
I can't really remember wins at Sellers Park against Liverpool. I can't. Like, Nate is going like throwback style. The Neil Warnock one, that's probably like how many? What's the options? Like, which one can I pick from? It's not like there's many options to win.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
It quite literally is that one, or that's the only one we've had in the Prem. We've been back in the Prem. Is that one?
I'm gonna go with 3-all, man. We stick with the 3-all.
No, you beat us. You beat us in 2005. Andy Johnson scored a 1-0. I was at that game.
Since we've been back in the Prem, Cal, from 2013.
That's talking about 2001, 2005. Boy, we're going throwback. I don't know if you're doing this on purpose, Cal. Are you trying to say that we don't really beat you?
Cal, the only other win I can remember, because I was getting bantered before we played you in the League Cup, was when you were champions of Europe. And I remember all the Liverpool fans were singing, "Oh, we're going to pat you." I went, "Champions of Europe, you're having a laugh." They didn't say nothing. I was like, "What happened, boys? I thought we was getting smacked." Oh,
you beat us in that game. Was it 2-1 you beat us, isn't it?
Something like that, but it was one of those where you did play a reserve side, but I'm like, don't care. You lot were singing Champions of Europe and that. You came South London and what happened? Yeah, shush.
Right, boys. Now I got to have a little fun myself. Nate, I'm going to start with you this time.
We know it's a 7-0.
Yeah.
COVID don't count. COVID don't count.
We move on. We don't count that.
See, 7-0 is not my favourite win at Crystal Palace. It's actually, I think it was 18-19 when we beat you. No, it was 19-20 season. We beat you 2-1. Firmino scored a last minute. It was scruffy as anything. But he scored in the last 5 minutes. That was my favorite.
I remember it. Yeah, I remember it.
Was that the one where Salah got sent off because he dived? I mean, Wan-Bissaka got sent off because apparently he got Salah, but he died.
No
That was a
comment, no
madness.
comment.
That was a madness.
I need my lawyer. I won't speak about my lawyer. But that's actually my favorite. Like, we've had some good ones, but that's because that game for me that gave me the belief that no matter how bad we can play, we can still get something out of the game. But the games have always been fun. Like the 7-0 one was it was fun, but I wish there was fans there. But I don't think that would have happened if there were fans there.
No.
I think that was just one of those games where everything went right.
Imagine losing 7-0. Pack sellers. That would be embarrassing.
Oh, that would be
listen. We ain't forgiving you lot for the 9-0 and 89. So this 7-0 business can go in the bin.
You know what's mad? I think in the last 5 games, Liverpool scored 16 goals against us. That's mad.
And how many of those were Mane?
7-0 counts. Yeah,
I was going to say,
I'm so glad Mane is gone.
Oh
yeah, he loved the goal. Like this guy would not, if he won't score for a whole season. It doesn't matter if he scores every game, he will find a way to score against us. Whether at Southampton, whether at Liverpool, he just loved us, man. I think that's the biggest plus. And the funny thing is, he's left now, and we managed to draw at your ground. I don't think that's a coincidence. Like, the time he leaves, and we managed to get something out of the game.
It's true. He was to you guys what Suarez was to Norwich. Like every time he saw you guys, he's like, yeah, I'm getting a couple goals and assists today. So, guys, I gotta ask you. I'll go around the circle. D, I'll start with you and then work around. Who's been Crystal Palace's best player so far this season, in your opinion?
That's a good question, Best player so far this season. There's 2. So I'll go with either Joachim Andersen or Doucouré. I'll say that because I think Doucouré, I'll give it to Doucouré because he's played pretty much every single game. He's been a fantastic signing, and that's our problem. Our problem is not this. It's not the signings. Is having the lack of them. When we do make signings, we actually make some decent ones. I think Doucouré as a number 6, just sitting in front of the defense, he's been fantastic and he improves as the season's gone on. I remember at the start of the season, he could have been playing 90 minutes. He was getting subbed off because I don't know if he was match fit and he was picking up yellow cards. But as he's been adjusting, it's exactly what we've needed. Kouyaté was decent for us last season. I think he was very good defensively for us. And he helped us like that. But we needed a number 6 that can get on the ball, that can ping out the passes, that can be press resistant, that can make a tackle. So basically your typical modern day number 6. And he's been fantastic for us. It's just having the players around him. That's been a concern. And once we do buy players, well, we saw it with Lukonga on a weekend against Brentford. Once we do get players around him, I think it will improve further. And I feel like he's been one of the most underrated players because I don't see no one talking about Doucouré. You see the likes of Zaha, maybe Anderson and Guehi, but Doucouré has been exactly what we've needed and it's been fantastic. But also shout out to Anderson because he's improved. And honestly, defensively, he's fantastic. On the ball, he's brilliant. It's very hard to pick a player out of them two. And it's funny because we've got Zaha on our team as well. But for me, the standout has been them two.
Fair dude. JC, I'll come to you next with the same question. Do you agree?
I think it's just going to be a repeating record for all of us going round here because I'm giving it straight to Doucouré, but as Dee said here, Anderson's definitely a close second because Doucouré is just class. I don't know how the hell we got him for £20 million because that looks like an absolute steal right now because of just how he plays. He's one of them guys that he'll get a few suspensions just because of how many yellows he gets. I think he gets a yellow every game without fail, but I think easily, without question, he's definitely the player of the season so far.
Rich, you saying the same?
Yep.
Nate,
you might as well switch up the question.
I was gonna say, is it Nate?
You know what? Funnily enough, as much as all the boys are right about Doucouré and he's been fantastic, I think a lot of people have slept on just how important to us Joachim Andersen is at the back because when he's not there and we've had to play Richards at the back who's done okay in some games. I mean, I think McTominay is still crying for that penalty that he never got. He's still crying over that apparently. But it's when you look at when Anderson's not there, you can really see just how lost the defence looks. I mean, obviously Mark Gay gets a lot of credit for how he played last season and to an extent this season, but it is a toss-up between Doucouré and Anderson. Jordan Ayew, for some reason, still doesn't get the credit he deserves when he actually does put in quite a bit of a shift. His goal return is shocking for a forward, so it's like, are you sure he's a forward? You sure? Because I'm pretty sure we could stick Pete the Eagle up front and he'd do a better job. But hey, that's just me. But yeah, I've got to give it to Shet Decore. I mean, the guy's just absolute class. And like JC said, we get it for the money we did. It's like, yo, did Dougie rob them? I think he did, you know. Nice one, Dougie, for once.
Fair dues, fair dues. It must be nice having a mobile number 6 who can tackle and win the ball back and all that. Enjoy it, boys. It doesn't last forever. Believe me, I'm starting to find that out.
But you know,
So,
Carl, just on what D was
we
saying,
can't score a goal, Callum. At least you know how to score goals.
Debatable again.
just on what D
bro.
was saying
Bro.
regarding like, we actually, when we go into the transfer market, we actually buy well. Like, as of the last couple of years, we just don't do enough. And that's the biggest issue. That's why I don't think we've been able to progress as much as we wanted to.
I swear, everything you say literally you could just swatch your shirt for a Liverpool shirt and you'd fit right in. On
But you've still got 80, 90 million to just throw around at players. Like, we're looking for proper bargains.
No, Rich, do you know what? Right? We buy well, but we don't sell well. But Liverpool sell well because remember, this lot taxed us 50, so what was it? 82.5 million for both Sacco and Benteke. And I'm thinking, no, what is going on with these?
Bless you guys for that. We needed that at the time. I bless you guys.
Dude, that's mad. I didn't even clock it was 82 mil. That's mad. You managed
No, sorry, well, it wasn't 82 mil, but it's like they made serious money off us.
Yeah, and we appreciate that, guys. We appreciate
it. Like 30 Sacco.
Yeah, I reckon if you add wages, I bet you it adds up to about that anyway. Because Benteke's on stupid money.
We got some players up for sale this summer if you guys.
No, we're good because you know what?
Be quiet.
No, you know what? When we look at the deals we've done with Liverpool, right? The value for money deal we got was Martin Kelly for $1.5 million. That says it all.
Whatever happened to Martin Kelly? Because I had high hopes for him, and he didn't really seem to kick on with you guys.
He played.
He actually did for a while.
Yeah. He had injury problems. Okay. But
he got injured.
He scored some big goals. He scored a goal in the FA Cup. What was it? Quarterfinals against Tottenham.
That was fun. That was funny.
Yeah, and he's made some. He's had some decent moments for us. I think majority of us as Spurs fans, we're happy wherever he is. He put in some good contributions. But then again, his ceiling wasn't that high, was it? Let's be real. Back then for us and the players that we had, it probably was one of the players we're looking at. But now you can see the players that we got. We could have and we have done better. But he's injured once again, so it's just injuries.
He's at Reading, I think. No, sorry, he's at Wigan.
West Brom. I think Wigan or West Brom. Yeah, one of them teams. But I think he's out injured again, which pretty much sums up his time.
Yeah, I had a soft spot for Martin Kelly, man. I did have a soft spot for Martin Kelly. Guys, before we go into score predictions and predicted starting 11s, make sure you smash the like button. But more importantly, guys, the link to both channels, that is Back of the Nest and Eagle Eyed Football, are in the title. Go over there, click on subscribe, and make sure you support the boys. All right. I'm going to go around the circle, see how we do this. So I might give Rich goalkeeper and right back and right centre back. JC, I'll give you left centre back and left back. Nate, I'll give you midfield, and D, I'll give you attackers. So Rich, you're starting 11.
The hardest one.
Or I'll say goalkeeper and right back and right.
Who I want or who I think was.
Do a hybrid.
I want or who I think
do a hybrid. You lot not starting Klein, you know?
I would want VG. He's going to start, yeah. VG, Klein, and Anderson, actually, to be fair. That's actually pretty easy when I think about it. Yeah, VG, Klein, Anderson.
JT, left back and left back.
It's just going to be standard procedure. It's going to be Mitchell at left back and Gay at left centre back.
Mitchell, guys, before we go any further, has he got a chance of becoming England's left back in the future?
No.
On this season, no.
Do you think that's England plays for, or because of the talent? Because we know what the politics in the England squad are like. It's usually who you play for as opposed to the talent.
The call up finished him, in my opinion. Okay. I wouldn't say he's a completely finished player now. I think that he's been humbled a lot from that experience, because I think he came back thinking that he's better than Palace, and then he got a big reality check, and he's never really been the same since. He hasn't played very well ever since then, really. I don't know.
But he's got the competition as well, JC. That's the problem.
Yeah, I agree. With competition, he pushed himself.
The biggest issue.
but because he knows that no matter how bad he plays, he's always going to be first choice on that team sheet for left back. He's not really got a reason to improve right now.
Fair dude. Nate, who's your midfield? Yeah, I'm guessing you're going 3 in midfield, right?
Well, historically against Liverpool, I'd just park 10 men on the goal line and hope for the best. But in the interest of fairness, I won't do that. But if we're going to pick a midfield three that Vieira would pick, because his midfield selections have left a lot of people scratching their heads lately, I'd have to say, hopefully, Doucouré, right defensive midfield, Sambi Lokonga, the other side of him, and one of Eze or Ayew in the 10. I know a lot of people are going to go, Ayew in the 10, are you mad? Who do you play on the right? Michael Elise. But no, I'd have to go with Eze in the 10. But Eze lately has been, well, fairly poor. But that's the joy of being a Palace fan. Even when we need players to turn up, it's more of the same. But yeah, I'd go Doucouré right, Sambi Lokonga left, and Eze in the 10.
I'm a big Eze fan. I am a big Eze fan.
I was about to say you're a big Ayew fan. I was about to say what?
This weekend I am, because I'd love to see him start over Eze. So yeah, I am. But no, Eze's sick.
Enough,
I rate Eze highly.
You say that. Watch when he scores his like one in a blue moon goal against you. Now that you say
Literally.
If Ayew scores, we're on the pitch.
D, who's your starting front three?
This is the hard one. So down the left, Zaha isn't playing. If he was playing, then it'll be easier. But look, Schlupp didn't have a great game. He's not having a great season overall against Brentford. But then realistically, I think he will start Jeffrey Schlupp once again down the left-hand side. Saying that, the other option potentially is Eze, even though it's not a wide player. But I could see Eze. So realistically, all right, let me be realistic. If I don't want Schlupp to start, I think he can start Eze down the left-hand side and put Ayew as like the number 10. And Eze came off the bench and he actually started down the left-hand side. So I can see that happening. Up front, I want Edouard to start. That should be a change from the Brentford game as well, because I don't think Mateta's good enough for this level. Whereas Edouard, that's more, it's a different conversation for me anyways. So I would like Edouard to start. Eze probably down the left, and down the right is going to be Elise. But yeah, if we're talking about changes to the starting lineup, I think up front, the front three or the front four, if you include the number 10, that's probably the most difficult part, because that could 100% change. Whereas the defense and the midfield is pretty sorted. We know what to expect. Saying that, in defense, I don't know about Rich and JC, but I wouldn't mind to see Rich as that right back sooner rather than later to the end of the season. I wouldn't mind that, because I feel like he offers more defensively than the final climb. Maybe not as much going forward, but he's been like, whenever he's come on and whenever he's played, he's been fantastic, like amazingly good for us. And he's put Rashford in his pocket in one game, and then the next game when we went to their ground, it didn't happen. But he's been, I would like him to start right back till the end of the season anyways. But I doubt he will do that. To be fair, he should do that against Liverpool. He should, because you're going to have Nunes probably there. And I would like to see Richards, and it depends if Klopp changes about, but I'd like to see Richards start there, because you probably most likely have pace or strength. So, yeah.
Would you then, let's just hypothetically say Richards does start, would you have him go left back instead?
Nah, not left back. He's not left back. Tariq, I would prefer Mitchell to stay left back. Even though we don't have many options there, I prefer Mitchell to stay left back, because he's actually, I know Rich is also in the right back, but he's right-footed. So when it comes to it, I think it'll be better for him to start down the right-hand side. Down the left, I know people are trying to blame him for the goal that we conceded, whereas there was other problems against Brentford, the last-minute goal. But me personally, I don't really see him as a left back. If he's going to play as a fullback, he'll be down the right.
Who blamed Richards?
Well, people saying they weren't closing him down and stuff like
That's
he didn't close him
mad.
down. Yeah, so there was lots of you know.
Rich, you got to remember, it's Palace Twitter. It doesn't matter who was at fault for the goal. Everybody has their scapegoat, and that person gets the blame.
Well, if we're against Liverpool, then maybe if we rewrite this question again, why don't we go for 5 back then? You get to play all 3 of the centre backs, and then you still play Klein and Mitchell as well.
We done that at Anfield. I don't know if you guys remember, but that's what Vieira done. I haven't got the exact back line with me, but we're talking about it on our channel. But yeah, we went 5 at the back. Eze started out wide. Wilf was up front. And yeah, we managed to pick up a point like that. But then again, I don't know. We face some bigger team. Well, we face big teams like Liverpool. but then we still didn't go 5 at the back
Five at the
recently.
back, yeah.
So I don't think he's going to go 5 at the back. But then again, it did work against Liverpool at Anfield. So that could be a possibility as well.
And the one thing lately, as much as our fixture running has been terrible, minus the second half capitulation against Spurs, we've actually given a good account of ourselves. Oh, and the Brighton game, we were terrible. But we've given ourselves a good account of ourselves in each of those games. So
yeah. I think the Brentford, I don't know about you guys, but I think coming into this game after that Brentford performance, because if you're talking about, forget about the result, the performance, it was our best performance is Bournemouth for me, anyways.
Yeah,
if we're talking about like trying to press a bit more rather than sitting back, it was a bit more exciting to watch, and we was literally on the verge of beating Brentford, a team that was 10 games unbeaten before that game. So we're coming off a good performance and annoying result, but not a bad result as well against you guys. And you lot are, let me not talk in it on here, but you lot are coming off a shambolic result and performance.
All you have to do is watch their match reaction. That told you how they felt, because I watched it and I was like, I actually feel bad for them. Do you know that? Because it's one thing to lose, but look, we'll leave it at that. I don't want to make any other people upset in the comments.
My face on camera last night and tonight, it takes a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it takes a lot. When you get family members sending you clips of yourself in meltdown, it's a new type of humbling. Type of humbling. So I'm going to go through what I believe Klopp will do as a starting 11 for Liverpool. So I think Alisson will stay in goal. I think we'll go Trent right back. I think we'll go Robbo left back. I think it'll be Matip and Virgil. I don't think we'll risk Gomez.
No!
Gomez.
I was hoping Gomez plays.
My guy. He didn't do anything.
He came off with a precautionary in mind because of potential injury. So I don't think we'll
he was
play
just having a bad game.
No, it was worse than bad. It was worse than bad. I could think of a lot.
Listen. It's fine. Give him some Tylenol. He'll be fine. Just give him some Tylenol. He'll be all right.
So, and then midfield, I think we go. This is where it's tricky. I think Hendo's. Oh, geez, I think we could see a midfield shake-up. I can see us going with Naby, Hendo, and Bajcetic. I don't think Fabinho starts this one. Up top, I think it picks itself at the moment. It's Salah, Gakpo, and Nunes. I would me personally, I would go Salah, Jota, and Nunes. But I think we'll go Gakpo.
Yeah. That's interesting. I think, I don't know. I think he might drop Gakpo for this. I think Jota. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Jota needs some.
I think you need to, probably a shuffle up there. I think if Jota start, that's probably scares me more than, as it always against Madrid. If Jota starts, I can see him having a good game, man. I don't think it's bad.
Same.
And it's just our luck to have Virgil and Jota potentially back for us.
Oh yeah.
Virgil van Dijk?
I was gonna say. This ain't the real Virgil right now, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
No, but it means that Gomez gets benched. I want Gomez starting.
Talent, it don't matter. It could be Virgil van Dijk with one leg. All he's got to do is play China Professional Football Club. He'll be scoring goals for fun. Don't make me cut the promo tonight, honestly.
Literally. Goal from a corner. I'm seeing it now. Happening.
Goal from a corner. He'd score from Liverpool's box against China Professional Football Club. Are you crazy?
Bro, I know. They're gonna. I wonder who's gonna be on form against. Pretty much everyone's struggling. Well, not everyone, but there are players struggling at Liverpool. I wonder which one of them is gonna bounce back and have the season. Have their season start at this point of the season.
Boys, I'm telling you right now. If I tweet it out after the game, you'll know for a fact I'm telling the truth, because I can see it happening already. I don't even need to think it's gonna happen. I'm like, no, China Professional Football Club. You're gonna have to back out the promo and the review.
I'll be real, Nate. I'll be real. I'm not as. It's gonna sound wild. I'm in a Liverpool channel as well, and it probably bite me back. But I'm not as nervous as some others.
You shouldn't be. You shouldn't be.
I'm not as nervous.
I'm bricking it going into this game. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Nah, you shouldn't be bricking it. You shouldn't be bricking it. But I could see easily like a draw. Like I could see that happening. Because I'll be real, Cal. I don't know about you, but in the second half against Newcastle, after they had 10 men, Alisson had to make a few saves.
Exactly.
Even though the first half was very good. But even though the first half was very good, if you're talking about one performance out of your last 5 that you were solid for probably 90 minutes, I'll have to pick out Everton. Even in the win against Newcastle,
Alisson was our man of the match.
Convincing.
He was our man of the match.
That wasn't that, and they had 10 men.
Exactly.
That wasn't that convincing. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking like this right now. I'm not saying we're gonna destroy Liverpool, but I haven't been convinced in the last 5 games. The Wolves game, then you had Brighton. I think it's just the Everton game that was a bit worrying, but yeah, man, we'll see what happens.
Right. Well, Rich, we started with you, so I'm going to end with you. Score prediction time, bro. Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, Selhurst Park. Big lights. Evening kickoff Saturday night.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
If Mateta starts, we're not scoring. No, I'm gonna go 1-1. I'm gonna go 1-1.
JC.
Don't ask me why, but I just thought we'll draw.
I'm not sure, man, because I can see this, like, because even you are not confident with Liverpool, and if their own fans are not confident, they're gonna absolutely destroy us.
Yeah, that's another thing, isn't it?
You know what? I think because you, man, got slapped around by Real Madrid, you're gonna come and slap us around. I mean, it's gonna be 3-0 Liverpool, you know.
3-0.
I'll take it
because they're going to be mad after what happened, so they want to big up their egos a bit.
I'll take it. Nate, do you agree? Disagree?
Part of me is thinking if we hit Liverpool early, although to be fair, we couldn't score if the goal was literally wide open for 90 minutes, so I highly doubt that's going to happen. But if we actually, for once, turn up and actually close a game off, which we failed to do since the turn of the year, we stand a fighting chance of getting maybe a point. 3 points, I think there's better chance of Millwall winning the Champions League than that happening. So I don't see us beating Liverpool at home. I would love it to happen because I can shut up a whole lot of Liverpool fans I know over here. But I'm going to be real, Cal. 1-1 is our best realistic expectation. But I can't help but see a 2-1 Liverpool with some fluky goal that Besetic will never score again in his life. He's going to be the one that's going to score a goal from 45 yards out. White is going to be looking for the ball in Upper Norwood. It's just like, what's that again? This guy hasn't scored for Liverpool yet? Oh, I know who this is. This is a charity professional football club. I warned everybody about this and nobody believed me. Yeah, 2-1 Liverpool, but hopefully a draw for Palace. But yeah, I can't see it. I think you'll beat us again.
Okay, D.
I can't. There's been a few 1-0s. I was going to go for 1-0. Can I say that still?
Yeah, of course you can, bro.
Yeah, I am 1-0 then, man. 1-0. I think it's going to be... I don't know. It's confusing. If you guys score first, I think it could be long for us. But if you score first, I can see us just keeping it on until like the 60th or 70th minute. Then afterwards, just like conceding a goal, and then you lot trying to pepper us, and then we just manage to survive. I'm gonna go for 1-0 because I can't lie. The results and the performances haven't been convincing apart from one in your last 5 games. Saying that, it will be so typical of you lot to bounce back. So I'm not getting overly confident. Like, you're going to have to bounce back at a certain stage in terms of like having more consistent performances and results. And you have to start somewhere. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's that Palace, isn't it?
Well, my result's going to shock everyone. Or my prediction, should I say. I'm predicting a 2-1 win to Palace.
Liverpool definitely going to win. Liverpool definitely going to win
definitely
now.
lost now.
I was there for 4-0 Liverpool. Where do you get the 2... Bro, we don't.
We're defending terribly at the moment.
Like, I know, but I don't like. We've scored 1 goal against Brentford. We scored a goal against Brighton. Scored a goal. We haven't got really 2 goals in us. Like, I'll be real. Last time we scored 2 goals was against Bournemouth, and that was in 2022. Yeah. So you're asking an awful lot for us to score 2 goals without Zaha. Like,
I hear you.
If that happens, then you lot probably deserve to like be stuck where you are right now, innit?
I hear.
Bear in mind, Eze's goal against Brentford was our first going open play in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
and it was with his head as well, so it's mad.
I just don't trust us at the moment at all. I don't trust us with anything that we do. We concede very silly goals. We concede loads of chances as well. Like, I think people forget that Newcastle game. Like, we should, like, they had Almiron like Alisson had to pull off a worldie from Almiron before we even went a goal up. We went 2-0 up, granted, but those two shots, 2 chances. Again, great efficiency. After that, Newcastle were on us. Like, Alisson had to make another world-class save from St. Maximin that came off the post as well. They had a header that came off the crossbar from a corner. Alisson had to save us late in the game as well. Like, I'm telling you, I don't trust this team at the moment. I hope to God I'm wrong, but I see a Palace win 2-1. And if that is the case, I'm going to have to block all you lot for a week. No, don't take it personally. I'm letting you guys know from like, so don't like, you know, when you message me now and you just one tick, like, don't take it personally.
Long. Based on this season, your block list must be.
It's very long, bro.
Fans,
it's
blocking,
very long.
All types of fans.
I got less people on the block list than I haven't on the block list.
Yeah,
put it
exactly.
that way, bro.
Your contacts are all disappearing. What's it called? Are you in the FA Cup? You are, innit?
No, bro, we're not.
Oh,
we're
you're
not. Brighton dealt us a blow in the Premier
Brighton.
League and then beat us up. Yeah, they beat us up in the.
Oh yeah. Damn. Must be tough.
Yeah, but they got further than us, so don't worry about it.
Who knocked you lot out in the League Cup?
Man City.
It's not bad. Yeah, charging is what it is.
It's
Man City, yeah. It's not that bad. I was expecting like a Norwich or something like that. It's not too bad. Brighton and Brighton.
It's rough.
They're playing well.
Boy, what can you do? People, massive shout out to you guys first and foremost. People, the link in the title, guys. Go and head over to Back of the Nest and Eagle Eyed Football, 2 of the best Crystal Palace channels out there. JC, Rich, Nate, D. Thank you so much. Again, without going too deep into personals, you guys changed your schedules around to make this happen as well. So really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much, guys. So guys, make sure you go and support their channel. Make sure you get their numbers up. They are not a direct rival of ours, guys. They are Crystal Palace. We get on all right. Obviously, we weren't on Saturday.
Nah, we're rivals. This year, we're like what 11th and 12th. We're close, man. We're close. This is a proper game for top 10 race.
But 2 games a season is not friendly. Put it that way. 2 games a season is not friendly.
We're both competing for the top 10, bro.
Yeah, it's the battle of mid.
It's literally the battle of the mid.
No, so people, make sure you guys support them. We will be back tomorrow, with the Prem panel show, so make sure you tune in for that. We're back on Friday with the call-in show, and then Saturday we'll have a live watch-along and a post-match as well. People, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you smash the like button if you haven't already, or if you're watching this on replay. Until we see you next time, thank you all for watching. Stay safe, stay blessed. We're Kopish, and we're out, people. Take care.